Alabama just clank off three after three after three because that's all they could get. And Michigan really clamped down. And as I said, they only won by 13, but it felt like by the time the game ended, it felt like it was a beatdown by Michigan. How did you see this game?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The final score, I mean, looks like quite dominating, right, by Michigan. But it's really, I mean, it's certainly in the first half, I thought Alabama was having a real tough time with getting the ball in and getting their shots, and you could see that the defensive play by Michigan really made a difference. I mean, they've got certainly every reason to be a number one. I mean, they're 34-3, right, and so dominant this year in the Big Ten. I expect them to continue forward. I know they have a tough game ahead of them today, but no, they shut down Alabama, and what a great job the coach has done. Nate Oates, obviously his name is already being brought up in like some of the vacancies, like at North Carolina Tar Heel program and other places. But I expect Alabama to keep him there simply because weren't they in the Final Four last year? I mean, this is a football school.
Yeah,
For the Crimson Tide to be making, this much noise this late in the March Madness, that's a credit to what he's done here as well. So,
absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, let's move on to this other game, the Michigan State and the Yukon game.
yeah,
That it looked like Yukon was going to run away from Michigan State in the first half, and then Michigan State made a furious comeback early in the second half, and then it was just nip tuck, close match, a defensive struggle, which is what you expect with these two programs. They know how to win. They know how to win in the big dance. They know how to win when the chips are down, and it was two absolute champions just going at it, heavyweight fight, and UConn was able to slug it out at the end, 67-63. Um, not definitely not a game for, I guess it's more of a game for basketball purists to see the good defense, not for the the recent fans who are used to the high flying, high scoring games. But I felt it was a really really good basketball game. It wasn't bad offense; it was good defense on both sides.
yeah, yeah, absolutely right. I mean, both teams had 9 turnovers, points off turnovers. UConn had a little bit of the edge, but the, for Michigan State to come back as they did, because I believe at one point UConn did have quite a big lead, 19
13,
point lead.
19, yeah.
So for them to make a run at it late, that's a typical Coach Izzo team. They're not gonna quit. They're gonna be in it till the final whistle. And what a matchup, man, between two championship winning coaches. And yeah, it was a slugfest, and really anyone could have taken it in the end. But UConn was really the better team. Um, they just have had a better season. If you look at it,
Mhm.
32 wins with just 5 losses. I expect them to give Duke quite a handful later today.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. Look, after these last two games by these teams, I would not be shocked. I would be surprised, but I would not be shocked if UConn is able to beat Duke and
Yeah.
get to the Final Four yet again. All right. On the other side, that last game, this was probably the shocker. Obviously, if St. John's had beaten Duke, I think that would have been the shocker of the day. But this was the
Sure.
shocker of the day. Tennessee and Iowa State. Not even, it's not even that Tennessee beat Iowa State, it's that how they dominated them in the second half, ending up winning by 14, outscoring them 42-29 in the second half. And I just I couldn't decide what surprised me more, that they won by double digits against Iowa State, or that they held them to 29 in that second half while putting up 42 on them. What did you see out of this Tennessee team? How were they able to do this to Iowa State, whom many thought was going to advance quite far?
I did too. I had Iowa State as one of the dark horses for the Final Four. I did not expect Tennessee to have such a great game. I would call this an upset. I mean, Tennessee was ranked sixth seed, and they beat Iowa State, number 2 seed. Honestly, what Tennessee did was they got everyone involved. I mean, looking at their stats, one thing that jumps out to me was that their player Boswell, Bishop Boswell, had a great game. Eight assists with just one turnover. He got everyone involved, and their star players basically got the rebounds as well as the points. So it's a tough loss for Iowa State. They had an amazing season too. I certainly had them as potentially making the Final Four, but this Tennessee team is really playing very well the last several games. They've got quite a good momentum going.
Yep. And your point, Boswell's spot on, right? I mean, he's a throwback, a pure point guard, right? 4 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, only took 3 shots. And most importantly, that assist to turnover ratio is just insane. And that's what did it. That concluded Friday and brought us to, boy, oh boy, the madness continued. So we're in the Elite Eight, and 2 bitter rivals, 2 rivals who know each other, squared off. One actually, to me, both surprising. I was going to say one surprising, one expected, but really both surprising. Illinois, Iowa squared off. They know each other. They compete against each other. And Iowa kind of showed that in the first half. But then in the end, it was Illinois was just too much in the second half, outscoring them 43-27, winning by 12, 71-59. You expected that to be a Big Ten old school slugfest, and it really was. 71-59. Illinois barely scratching the 70-point mark. Anything that stood out to you, or I mean, at this point, with this matchup, obviously not beforehand when I was picking my bracket, but going into Saturday with this match, I thought it was going to be Illinois pretty easily. And while Iowa put up a little bit of a fight early on, having a 4-point lead at the half, in the end, Illinois wins comfortably.
Yeah. Bennett Sturts, man, local kid from Kansas City, Liberty High School, did not get recruited by my team, the Kansas Jayhawks, or some of the other teams. Went to Iowa, and what has he done? I mean, nothing but amazing stellar play all through the season, as well, especially during the March Madness. He had 24 points yesterday, but Iowa does not have enough weapons compared to what Illinois has. They have the Eastern European bloc playing for them, right? They got Peja Stojakovic kids playing, and this guy, as everyone knows, can't just shoot it from the outside. He'll get inside and get his points, unlike his dad. So this guy is a double threat, and he's having an amazing season. But really, the guy to watch is the Mirkovic. I'm not saying it right. Mirkovic. Yeah, Mirkovic. He is, I mean, double-double almost every night. Yeah, as long as he's getting those points and rebounds, this team is very deadly, and they've already done things they haven't done in 25 plus years. So they got momentum as well. I got a buddy of mine. I don't know if he's listening, Pete Golden out there from the Fighting Illini. He is so ecstatic. Got a text from him last night after that game. So I'm excited for them, man. They deserve it.
Hey, you were talking about players from your backyard. Those always hurt a little bit more, right? When they get away. Did you know that Illinois has one of those as well? Keaton Wagler is from Shawnee.
Exactly. Tell me about it. He could have easily. They didn't even get an offer from Coach Self and the Jayhawks. That's one we certainly let go. And he's going to be playing in the NBA next year. I expect him, especially with the kind of noise he's made. Yeah, he's been amazing.
Yep, 25 points here, and then you were talking about Mirkovic. It's not just that he's eating up the paint. He's eating up minutes also, man. He had 38 minutes in this game. Yeah. 38 minutes with only 1 foul. So he's playing defense. He's playing clean defense. He's dominating the paint. And, I mean, Illinois has just surprised a lot of folks, including myself, I did not have them.
They've got it all, man. They've got guard play. They've also got the length, right? So yeah, this team can really make a run next weekend to the championship. I see that.
All right, second game yesterday. Whew. So look, as I said, Purdue wasn't on my radar until Selection Sunday. That morning, I finished the show. I got home. I think I did some shopping. Got home. So at about 2 p.m., I think I sat down and turned on the game, and that Big Ten championship, Purdue and Michigan, was going on, and that's when I really, for the first time, really saw Purdue play, and I was like, "Whoa, this team is a little better than an 8-loss team. Like they were giving Michigan all they could handle, and then in the end beat them in that Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
And I mean, I thought they were going to be a handful for anyone, and they surely showed against the aforementioned first overall and the favorites and everything, Arizona. They had a 7-point lead on them. Purdue did.
Yeah.
38-31. I mean, Arizona clamped down in the second half, but man, I think they took them by surprise. Arizona took a couple on the chin, but it woke them up. But Purdue is they're good. They're good, but Arizona's just better.
Just better. Too much offensive weapons. And you're absolutely right. Purdue came out like gangbusters, man. I think this was the other than the 2 losses Arizona's had, this was the toughest game they've played. And they certainly probably had a great talk, and the team regrouped and came back strong. But hats off to Purdue. Their player, I expect, going into playing, a couple of them hopefully are coming back. But that team has really turned around. 30-win season. And Clough, the center, I mean, that guy is a beast. 6'11", he plays more like 7'2", from Australia. He had an amazing season as well. But yeah, this is such a, like I said, my overall pick is going to be Arizona, and I expect them to win, but they certainly were tested against this Purdue team.
They were. Hey, isn't it, just as a basketball fan, isn't it great? And because we can think back to the times where having a European player was a novelty, it was a rarity. Yeah. Isn't it great to see how much the game has grown across the globe, where you constantly have these stars from Australia, from Europe, many areas of Europe, all over the world. You've got players coming into college basketball, into the NBA, and I think it just makes the game so much better.
Absolutely. I mean, they have not only just grown the sport, but contributed to it in many ways too. You've got the Eurostep, you've got the different styles of play that they bring in from Europe. I think it's made the league better. And yeah, it only translates now into some of the kids of some of these stars, who are now, like we mentioned, with Stojakovic's kid. So it's been great to see that evolution of the game from a world perspective as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's get to today's games, shall we? So the last couple of games left, we've already kind of touched on UConn and Duke. We think the way UConn has been playing, they've definitely, if somebody had said, well, a lot of people probably had UConn and Duke, the 1 and the 2, meeting each other in the Elite 8 here. But as I said, I think I would have been shocked 2 weeks ago if somebody said UConn beats Duke to go to the Final Four. I think today I would be mildly surprised, but not shocked at all if UConn pulls it off, considering where they are. The over-under, this is going to be a defensive game, more so than one would expect. The over-under is 134. So, a 66-62 game is definitely in the cards. And Duke is favored by 5.5, which I think is a little bit more, but I think that's just, they're still getting the respect of a 35-2 team, the pedigree that Duke has, the season that they've had, all of those things. But I think the way these two teams are playing right now, I would not be shocked if this is a 1 or 2 possession game at the end.
Yeah, I think it's going to go down the wire. This is going to be a great test for the Duke team. Coach Dan Hurley is going to have UConn ready. In my mind, what they've done in the last couple decades, obviously they're perennial, like not just blue blood. They are the women's basketball benchmark, Yukon Huskies. But what they've done in the men's game, I mean, they're certainly in the mix now in my mind with the Dukes, the Kansas, the other team. So yeah, they're going to be ready. I really think the play from both the brothers, the Boozer kids, that's going to be very very important. But just one thing I really like is this is a game against good coaching as well. Both Coach Shire, former player for Duke, as well as Dan Hurley. I mean, these are great basketball minds. So I think it's going to be a game of adjustments in the second half. But as long as UConn can stay with Duke in the first half and not fall behind, gives them the chance to definitely win this game. They have a good body of work to pull the upset off.
Excellent insight there. Yeah, it's not just going to be talent on talent. It's going to be X's and O's fighting each other. I think the two really, really good coaches who have proven themselves. So yes, sometimes I know you can't really relate, you being a fan of Jayhawks who are constantly winning, but as a fan of Mississippi State Bulldogs, of a lesser tier teams, right? It's so frustrating to see a UConn go from 3 decades of greatness from a coaching perspective in Calhoun. I wanted to say Boeheim. I always conflate those two because they coached against each other for years and years. Syracuse and UConn. Calhoun, and then go from that to another great coach. And Mississippi State is just swapping out coaches every 3 years, just trying to find something. I mean, they had a couple back in the 90s and early 2000s, but not since then. So hey, before we get to that last game today, I do have to tell you, look, we both love sports, right? I mean, that's established. That's why we're sitting here on a Sunday morning doing this. What else do we like? We like to eat, don't we? So got to tell y'all, you and our listeners, about Jimmy's Restaurant and Catering. Next time you're in town, we got to go eat there, man. So not only do they have an amazing Sunday buffet, which is just insane. I mean, it's they've got like 40, 45, 50 items on there. You can't even take a bite of every item on there before you're full. They have so much on Sundays, but they've started doing specials on weeknights, and that is just awesome. So Tuesday nights, Jimmy's does their barbecue night. You can get a beef seekh kebab, a malai tikka, aloo tarkari, chole, halwa, puri, paratha, all for just $15.99 plus tax. Wednesday nights, they do an Irani and Afghani buffet. Yes, Shirazi pulao, Afghani pulao, Burani badmajan, kobide kebab, chapli kebab, salads, much more. All of that for just $18.99 plus tax on Wednesday nights. And then Thursday nights is my special, my favorite limited special that they do Thursday nights. You can celebrate Thursday night with their irresistible buffet, limited buffet, because what they do is they have mutton kunna, slow cooked in a nice gravy. They also, you can pour that all over this Rasili chicken pulao that they make, and then the crown jewel beef and nihari, all of that for $18.99 plus tax. And of course, fresh naan coming right out of the tandoor. It is an awesome.
That's a great deal.
Yes, especially on cold days, man. It is so good to get some warm nihari, warm mutton kunna shorba all over the rice. Great stuff. And then on top of that, they also do catering for all your special occasions. So reach out to Jimmy's and get all of your food needs done. Jimmy's Restaurants and Catering is located at 6300 Independence Parkway in Plano. Their phone number is 469-298-3611. All right. Enough food. Let's get back to the last game that's coming up. Actually, the UConn Duke is going to be the late game. So what's coming up right in about an hour or so? Tennessee, Michigan, the
SEC
lowest
Big Ten. Yes,
SEC
sir.
Big Ten. And look, again, 2 weeks ago, if somebody had said Michigan and Tennessee were meeting in the Elite Eight. First, I would have called them crazy, but then I also would have said, "Oh yeah, Michigan takes that easy." No, Michigan is still favored by 8.5 here, simply because it's a 34-3 team against a 25-11 team. But man, what Tennessee has shown the last couple of days. Um, how do you see this? Do you see this a runaway game by Michigan, or do you think they're gonna have their hands full?
Well, listen, Michigan does definitely have all the pieces to kind of have a game where they run away, but I think the way the Volunteers have been playing, especially their freshman forward Nate Eminent, this kid is playing like an upperclassman, and
Mhm.
he has been really controlling the paint as well as getting his rebounds and most importantly points. So I do expect Michigan to win this game, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means
Not gonna be a
because Tennessee
cakewalk.
has had quite a lot of momentum coming this far.
Yeah, and he's definitely you mentioned the Tennessee freshman. He's definitely one of those every year in NCAA basketball. Every year you see these two, three, four, maybe freshmen who grow during the season, right? In those three
Mhm.
months. I don't mean physically, I mean their game.
Yeah,
And yes, you're absolutely right. He is no longer playing like a freshman. He is
yeah.
playing like a seasoned vet. And
And playing through injury, he had an ankle issue. Remember? I mean, I don't know if you caught any of the highlights or
y-
watched the game. He played through an ankle injury, so I'm hoping he's feeling a little better. I know it's not been a lot of time since he got, but the fact that he still played through that and was able to help them win tells me his heart's there. So really excited for this game.
yeah, I think these both of these games are going to be really really good games. I mean, obviously, in my mind, the Michigan game has a little higher chance of getting away from Tennessee.
Mhm.
But I think you're right. What Tennessee has shown, what they're doing, the way they're playing, especially the way they're playing defense, I think this could end up, even though it's over under is 12 points higher, sitting at 146 and a half. I can certainly see this turning into a slugfest in the
Gonna be a
upper
dogfight.
60s or early low 70s. um, I can see that turning into that. So, two great games on the board today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope you, Manny, I hope you, our listeners, I hope everybody out there is able to get some relaxed time, get some basketball time, because it's March Madness. And March Madness, as quickly as it comes, it goes away just that quickly, man. We're
Yes.
down to we're after these games, we're going to be down to the final four, and
Yep.
of course that's going to take place next Saturday with the championship on Monday night. So we'll definitely be breaking down the final four games next Sunday when we get together. Manny, always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much. Always wonderful to talk sports with you.
Look forward to it, buddy. Take care. Have a good
Have a
one.
good one. All right, Manny from Kansas City dropping off. And with that, it's also me, Rizwan, dropping off. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening in. Thank you for all your likes, comments, all that good stuff. Do follow us. We're on every Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon, with all things sports. We didn't even get to the Rangers. That's a long season. We'll get to that in short time. All right. This is Rizwan signing off. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
You are listening to Radio Azad, where your voice